I mean, it's going to be hectic out here for a lot of these riders. Ultimately, you want to qualify near the front of this grid for sure. And one of the kids I want you to watch is on the second row, Caleb DeCarroll. He's really riding well. And just put it in perspective, that's like a 2008 motorcycle. So this kid's something special. We saw a lot of him out of him at Elkhart Lake. So there's a lot of other hungry riders in this field. It's going to be a big race.
We're looking forward to getting this one started for you folks here at the Triumph SuperBike Classic presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. If you're just joining us all across the world out there on fanschoice.tv, welcome to Barber Motorsports Park. And for all of you who've been with us all day, I think that you will be glad that you stayed with us and waited, because SuperSport is at the line, promises to be a barn burner. They get set to go. It's man and machine now. The grid has been cleared of everyone else. Bikes are in gear, clutches are in, face shields are down, green light goes off, and boom, Hayden Gillum gets a Rocket John start. He's going to lead him into turn number one, as Dominguez will take a look down the inside, or the 5 of Alexander rather, and DeCarroll back in the 4th spot. So they're on. It's happening. That is the 69 of Hayden Gillum up front. Already out to a huge start. While they're sorting it out back there, Hayden's on the throttle.
He's picking it up where he left off at Elkhart Lake at that last race. He's going to win, and he's carrying that momentum down into Charlotte's Web right now. Makes that turn nice right there, and he's already got 10, 15 bikes, Barry, like you said. And this is something he could really build on right now. If Corey Alexander didn't get his head down and really push hard, you got to watch the 69, because this is a real rider's racetrack, and Corey's still a little bit hurt from that collarbone.
There's Alexander in the 2 spot. Dominguez in the 3 spot. Caleb DeCarroll in the 4th spot. Looked like he had maybe a little moment to me. Maybe it's been camera angle on us, but DeCarroll looked like he had the thing a little bit crossed up. I loved watching Gillum fly it over the curb over there in the S's. That's so cool.
Yeah, this is a super fun racetrack for the riders to ride, and it's really ideal for a 600 motorcycle. The thousands, it's got to be a handful, but the 600, this track's built for a 600.
How would you like to do some laps on a 500cc 2-stroke GP bike from back in the day on this thing?
Yeah, I'll pass. I'd do it if I had to.
Of course you would. Here's Scott Russell. Barry Boone and Scott Russell in the booth. Christy Lee handling all the duties down trackside with our rider grid and hot pit. And she'll be covering the action down at Victory Podium when we get there. 14 laps remaining, as they're going to really be sorting this one out. Right now, things are a little bit calm. I don't know that it's going to stay that way unless Hayden Gillum continues to pull away. Hayden ran here 3 or 4 times before he ever rode a Red Bull Rookies Cup bike here in the tryouts. Then he made it in Red Bull Rookies Cup and got accepted. Finished 2nd in the championship. He's always liked Barber, and he's always done well here. He's showing you that right now as we see one rider down. He's up on his feet, and they're trying to dig the thing out of the sand trap. There's Alexander, number 5, and Dustin Dominguez, number 68. They've separated themselves a little bit from Caleb DeCarroll, who is your 4th place rider.
Yeah, Dustin definitely didn't really get the start he wanted, and to be able to capitalize on that good starting position out on the outside of turn row and pole. But nevertheless, he's really getting racy right now with Corey Alexander, and he knows if he's going to make a move, it needs to be right about now and get by him. And there it is in the last corner. He dives down the inside, makes the pass on Corey Alexander. Now let's see if he can reel in Hayden Gillum at all.
The start is under review. I'm told the start is under review. Well, that doesn't mean that anything happened that's illegal. It just means they're looking at footage and double checking it. Not an uncommon practice in a field this size, but they're checking it right now. We will get back with you when we hear the official word. But right now, Hayden Gillum is checking out. He's exiting Charlotte's Web as the others arrive at Charlotte's Web.
When they crossed the line the last time, Hayden Gillum did a 129.9 to Dustin Dominguez 130.5. So that's what the gap you see on track right there. Now, Dustin's going to have to try to chip away at that lead, or will Hayden keep building on it. But Caleb DeCarroll looks like he's closing in a little bit on Corey Alexander. Looks like he's a little bit closer than he was the lap before.
The Caroline Olsen fans might like to know she is currently shown 17th on the field. Caroline currently shown 17th on the field.
Super long duration corner right here. These last sections of the corner just never ending, this turn 15, 16 area, and then it really tightens up on itself. And that's when you see the riders try to swoop back to the right so they can get a really good drive down the front straightaway and carry as much momentum as they can, especially on a 600. You don't want to kill your momentum at this racetrack. You want to try to keep the bike rolling as best you can through the corner.
Hayden Gillum continuing to turn blistering pace compared to the field. That time by 129.749. Dominguez 134. Caleb DeCarroll actually turned the second quickest lap of that bunch up in the top with a 130.378. So Caleb's on the throttle hard. He's riding well. He, as you said, Scott, he is beginning to reel in that second and third place riders.
Well, he's really riding good this year. Elkhart Lake was a good shot in the arm for him, and now it looks like his bike's running really strong down that infield straightaway. Didn't look like he lost an inch to Corey Alexander as far as acceleration or anything goes, so that's key, having a motorcycle that'll run. Corey had a little bit of a bobble right there. Caleb's seeing that. He's smelling blood in the water right now, Barry.
This young man, we're talking Caleb DeCarroll from White Bear Lake, Minnesota, and he's down here right now doing it in the Alabama sunshine at Birmingham at Barber, as he is clearly up in this thing. He's one spot off of a podium finish. Can he improve his position? We're going to find out, because he is on the throttle hard here at Barber in the early going with 12 to go.
Boy, he's swinging way wide in turn 15 right now, and he's got to be smiling inside that helmet to think, God, this is the guy leading the points right now. I'm right on his rear wheel. I can beat this guy. So I know what he's going through in his head right now, and just keeping it together, keeping calm. He seems like a real calm, cool character anyway, so that'll play into his hands right now.
Yep, his dad Doug and his mom Heather are down there probably grinning pretty big too as he is on the throttle. He is actually pressing Alexander hard right now, Scott. He took a look at each of the last 2 or 3 corner entrances. Caleb has really been applying pressure to the man riding for the Celtic Racing Team, number 5, Alexander.
And the only other rider to dip in the 129s is Caleb DeCarroll and Hayden Gillum. Those are the only 2 on track that have gone under 130 in this race. It'd be key for him to try to get by Corey as quick as he can. He's caught him pretty quickly, because you can see Dustin Dominguez is starting to get his stride a little bit and start to pull away from Corey. I think Corey's probably still dealing with that injured collarbone being plated. Elkhart Lake was a different track. This is a whole different animal right here. This is a real tough racetrack to hustle a motorcycle around, and it can really work on you physically.
Had a slow rolling bike in turn number 1, eased off the racetrack. They're running back. I'm not sure who that was, but there's somebody off the racetrack down there. The bike lost power apparently.
Down the front straight, Caleb's got a good run. Will he try anything down the inside right here? Very nice move on the brakes. Oh, there it is. That was perfectly lined up.
If he can hang on to the line and keep the spot, and I don't think he did.
He had to run it a little bit wide and get off the gas as he's running out of racetrack on turn 1. It's really a tricky corner. If you enter it too tight, it's going to push you out wide, obviously, on the edge. But he's got another run at him down here. Corey's really getting the hurry up on now, because he knows it's coming again somewhere.
So the start was under review, and as it worked out, Bike 17, Rob McClendon, will have a 10-second penalty for anticipating the start. Eric Sanchez, number 64, has incurred a 10-second penalty, and Lee Farmer, number 74, has incurred a 10-second penalty. So, Scott, he just overshot it a little bit, right? Went in a little too hot, but now he's back, so perhaps the youngster is going to learn something from that.
Well, he's going to learn, I got to try, and I got to make it stick this next time. And he looked down there off the back straightaway, but again, that's one of those tough spots to make it happen. So now, can he line that up again as they come through this long, sweeping right-hander? turn 14, 15, 16 all tied together, and then make that run out of 17 again. He's going to go down the inside of him right here, Barry. Look at that.
Oh, well timed. He played it out beautifully here and may be able to hang on all the way down the front stretch into one. But Alexander is fighting back. But I believe it was DeCarroll that's going to lead him into one.
Nicely done. He's really riding well right now. And whether Corey's hurt a little bit, not riding quite as well, doesn't matter. This kid is riding well, and he's hungry right now. And now I can see Dustin Dominguez. He's going to set his sights on him right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he could pull him back some.
And they've all picked the pace up now, Scott. They're all turning into 129s. I'm talking about the top three. Hayden Gillum, last lap, he turned to 129.7, so he is still the only one that lap that turned to 129, but their best laps are all in the 129s for the top three. But Alexander is he might have to work hard to stay with DeCarroll right now, and it could be what you're talking about, the recovery process. But DeCarroll's riding so relaxed and loose, it looks like to me, on the bike.
And when you're that young and you're looking to get on the box again and really do the best result possibly of your career in AMA Pro, you get an extra motivation, and that's what we see riding right now with him. And it's going to be interesting if he can run down Dominguez, because Dominguez is holding his own right now.
Well, let's take a minute and look at Caleb's numbers. He at Daytona, he finished 14th in race number 1. He finished 12th in race number 2, showing progress. He finished 5th at Road America in race number 1. He finished 4th in race number 2. So he's continuing to improve in his finishes. Perhaps today's the day that he will get that podium finish that he's been looking for. And if so, his progress will be continuing to be chartable, really.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see new blood in a series, and this series is full of it. But right now, there's one guy out front kind of doing it his own way, Hayden Gillum, and just clicking off those 129 berries. And he's consistently faster than the rest of the field, and now has built up a pretty sizable gap this early in the race.
And that rider is number 69, Hayden Gillum, having a good run again today. I've thought, there's been a lot of talk down in the garage about that young man, of the talent that he has. And as you said at Road America, Rick Matheny saw that talent. He's believed in him for a while, and he's given him a real good motorcycle here and a real good opportunity. And to his credit, Hayden's taken advantage of it.
Well, this race for second's definitely going to close up, because that gap has shrunk visibly, Barry. I'm sorry, just by looking outside. It's super close, and he's kind of dragging Corey Alexander up there with him. This is Caleb DeCarroll I'm talking about, so keep your eye on that battle for second.
It could be a good one. They continue to tighten it up little by little. Dustin Dominguez, if he had mirrors, he would see that there's a little speck that's getting larger in those mirrors. I don't think he's close enough yet to hear DeCarroll's engine, but DeCarroll is definitely closing at a pretty good clip here, Scott.
I think the objects are closer than they appear in the mirror. You're right. He's coming. So this is good stuff right here, man. I mean, this is what you want to see, a young kid getting a chance in pro racing, and really just him and his dad driving around in a van pretty much and making it happen. I mean, and this is a great story.
Underfunded, low budget, all the things.
Oh, Corey Alexander just almost took him out as he lost the front end in Charlotte's Web. Sorry, Barry.
No, it's all good.
That was close.
That takes precedence over anything else, and Alexander's on his feet. Running to his motorcycle, trying to pick it up and go. But, that could have been a devastating blow for both of those riders. Fortunately, only one was involved.
So the points leader's in the gravel trap now, and this could change the whole game. Obviously, it's changed the game for today, but, man, that Charlotte's Web, that corner has put so much force through the front tire of these motorcycles. It's downhill off camber, and Corey was getting fired up. He didn't want to get dropped off that top 3 pace, and he was pushing hard, and good thing is he's back on track again.
He is, but he's way back. He's lost all kinds of track position, and the scoring loop will tell the tale, as actually I think he's coming down the pit lane. He's coming down the hot pit lane. So apparently he had a mechanical. He may have had a mechanical. Is that him or not?
Different guy.
Okay, different guy. Gotcha. Yep, you're right. Beg your pardon. Same color motorcycle, just a different man. There's your race leader, the TOBC machine of Hayden Gillum. That's the 74 on the pit lane. That's Lee Farmer, one of the Apex Race Service guys. Similar paint scheme, my apologies. So Hayden Gillum out of Charlotte's Web. He knows he's not under any pressure right now whatsoever. He's backed his pace off just a little bit, about a 1:30.212 last lap. A picture of smooth is what that young man is today. He's putting on a clinic. Similar thing. Hayden had a 7th in Daytona and then a 3rd at Daytona, a 3rd and a 1st at Road America. So he's got momentum on his side of things as well.
Well, he's definitely taking full advantage of this new ride he's got this year, and they've done a great job of putting a good motorcycle underneath. You talk about Rick Matheny tuning the bike for him, and it's just great to see them really starting to come along and carrying the momentum that they had from Elkhart Lake over here in the Barber.
And he'll be smiling all weekend regardless of what happens. You know, the kid's just happy-hearted, smiling kid, having fun. Like you always say, if you're having fun, you typically get the kind of results you want, and he is certainly having fun, especially here today with 5 to go. Number 69, Hayden Gillum, works his way around a couple of slower riders and continuing to inch out in front of this field on his way perhaps to a back-to-back race wins in SuperSport.
Well, he's got 5 laps to go, and he's going to have some traffic to deal with, but it's pretty spread out. You know, with the 41 riders starting on this racetrack, there's quite a bit of traffic, but now he doesn't really have any heat from behind, so he can take his time and make those passes stick and make them clean.
Looks every bit as good right now as he did in the opening lap of this SuperSport event here this afternoon. It'll be 4 to go when Hayden gets back to the stripe, as he is truly putting on a clinic for them here this afternoon.
Yeah, his bike setup looks really good right now. You see a little bit of chatter from the front end if you look close in some spots, but for the most part, he looks like he's riding effortlessly, and that's when things are working well.
Corey Alexander, for those of you that are keeping up, is back in the 15th spot after his off-track excursion. He's trying to salvage something positive out of this day.
Yeah, I mean, championships can be won by 1 or 2 points, and so those valuable points he's collecting right now, who knows, at the end of the year, it could pay off.
He came in here with 115 points to Hayden Gillum's 86, so he had a nice lead coming in. He's going to lose a little bit perhaps in this one, and then he's got tomorrow yet again to try to make up a little bit on that deficit that he has put himself in here today. We are watching number 69, Philpott, Kentucky's Hayden Gillum. I love that crest on the side of that bike, the TOBC emblem. I think it's classy. The bike is easy to see on the racetrack.
And they've got a great-looking outfit over there. They've run a tight ship, and it's looking good right now out front. I know that. They're getting some good time here on the camera.
Getting plenty of camera time here this afternoon, no question. Amazing when they get back to the stripe. When Hayden Gillum gets back to the line this time, it'll be 2 to go. This thing is clicking off. That also means we are at 80% complete, which means if you had a situation, the race could be called. If it were to go red at this point, it could be called a race. There's Hayden threading the needle, working up through some of the riders at the tail of the field. Doing so very respectfully, very cautiously, of course. They're having a race within themselves, and he doesn't want to mess with that. They don't want to mess with him. So he has dispensed of those two. and will begin to proceed on back to start-finish, where he will be aware that it's 2 laps remaining when he gets back to the stripe.
Well, the real race today is right now for second, because Caleb DeCarroll is caught up to Dustin Dominguez, and there was a slight, I don't know, a lap time, a second faster Caleb was than Dustin the last lap by. Maybe he had some traffic, but those 2 guys are tied together with just a lap and a half to go.
And Dustin Dominguez is really the age and experience in that battle, with Caleb DeCarroll, the youth and enthusiasm. You know, Dominguez moved up to sport bike for a season and did some racing up there, came back to SuperSport. Very talented young man, but he's become the veteran in this class in many respects.
I think he's doing a great job, but as he just crossed the line right now, you can see Caleb is right with him. Well, we can see that, and it's going to be coming right down to the line right now. We're following the leader, 69 here. He's got no worries out front. But Dustin coming back to the 600s, I think, is a great place for him. He tried his luck in Superbike on the EBR for a little bit, did not go well. Here goes the move down the inside of Charlotte's Web.
Number 69, Hayden Gillum, leading them here for the final, coming to the white flag lap this time. The battle for second is the one Mr. Russell and I are somewhat focused on. Number 68, Dustin Dominguez, and number 51, Caleb DeCarroll. The fans here at the racetrack are definitely getting a good look at the 68 and the 51 here, Scott. They're fighting it out.
Yeah, they are, and you can see them right in the background, but right now, Dustin's got this thing in third right now, and he's going to try to find a way around Caleb before they get to the start-finish line, but I don't think it's going to happen.
We'll know that in just a moment as they're coming back to the white flag, and they'll have one more lap to sort out the podium finish here at Barber. There's the white flag for number 69, Hayden Gillum. He knows now it's shiny side up, rubber side down for one complete lap, and I own this thing. And there's your battle for second. And it's a good one. DeCarroll leads Dominguez now for the final lap into turn number 1. So Caleb DeCarroll has done it. He got around Dominguez. Now can he hold him off? Because Dustin's got something perhaps planned for Caleb in this closing moments of this one.
Well, he made a good move, and now Dustin's right on his rear wheels. They come over to Charlotte's Web. This is where Caleb made the move on Dustin. He's going to go down the inside. Oh, he's going to run the thing wide, and that's going to open the door right back. Caleb makes a nice move up out of the Charlotte's Web to take that second spot back again.
From you, I learned that when you get past, you should strike back as quickly as possible, and DeCarroll took your advice and did that. Now we've got that battle for second. Fans' Choice viewers are seeing it as well. That's the 51 of Caleb DeCarroll, the 68 of Dustin Dominguez. It's the white flag lap. They're working it here for supremacy on the box, Scott Russell. Call it all the way to the finish.
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be tough for Dominguez, but he's tough character, and he's going to look for a spot right down here. A little surprise attack off the back straightaway. He dives down the inside, moves him out of the way. Can he hold the line? That's going to be the trick right now. Caleb's going to have to get creative real quick because there's only a couple corners left.
White flag's in the air. Gillum will be here in a moment to receive his checkers. These two know they've got just a minimal number of corners left. Here's your race winner for the final time across the stripe. Hayden Gillum pumps a fist in the air. Here's your battle for second, and it is going to be age and experience over youth and enthusiasm as Dustin Dominguez will take the 2 spot, and the 51 of Caleb DeCarroll will certainly not have anything to hang his head about. Scott, he rode brilliantly this afternoon, really.
What a great race for second right there. And Hayden Gillum, wow, what can you say about him? He was in a class of his own today. But yeah, for the race for second, awesome. A lot of good races going on throughout the pack, and this class it's always producing some great racing.
It's the Triumph SuperBike Classic. It's one of those premier dates that everybody wants to get to. I should say presented by our friends at America's First Federal Credit Union. Look at the relief. You know what, Scott, he's celebrating already, is Hayden Gillum as he makes his tour, his cool-off lap around this racetrack. There's DeCarroll. He puts the wheel in the air on the machine. Dominguez congratulating Hayden. Caleb DeCarroll. All 3 of those guys, they're future Superbike stars. That's all there is to it. You want to look at the health and future of Superbike racing in America, look no further than this class right here and that guy right there.
Well, this is big for Hayden. You know, I mean, especially with the points leader falling down, Corey tipping over, and looks like he came across the line in 13th spot, Corey Alexander. So he gathered a few points, you know, and like we said, at the end of the championship road, will that pay off? We'll see how that plays out.
I talked to his dad as they were pushing the bike through Tech this morning. I guess maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. This schedule's got me messed up. And his dad said that since he came off the Yamaha, got on the Suzuki, that Hayden's really been comfortable on the Suzuki. He really seems to like it, and he's doing a lot with it. He's shining. 2 wins back-to-back for number 69. Hayden Gillum winning at Road America, turning around and doing it again here at Barber, and he'll have one more shot at a victory tomorrow. Very cool. All right, let's review our top 10 real quick before scoring takes the T-Bird away. Hayden Gillum atop the order, Dustin Dominguez second, Caleb DeCarroll in the 3 spot. Miles Thornton will be 4th this afternoon, Curtis Murray 5th, Richie Escalante 6th, Wyatt Ferris 7th, JC Camacho, another solid little performance up in the top 10 in 8th. Good run by Tim Hunt, number 71 in 9th, and Jason Aguilar, number 96 in 10th. Andre Oaks will be 11th here this afternoon. Cody Wyman 12th. Corey Alexander, after that off-track excursion and dropping the motorcycle, picked it up, recovered nicely, did Alexander. He'll bring it back in 13th. And there he is. There's Hayden. He's around. There's his mom, Carrie, his dad, Frank. Big Frank, they call him. There's Kerry Gillum. There's J.D. Beach, great friend to Hayden, giving him a big hand. Big hug. There's Gail. It's good to see Gail. She's here from Owensboro, part of the Owensboro bunch. That's very cool right there. Big Frank giving Hayden a big hug. Good to see that Owensboro bunch hanging. There's Marty Hayden giving him a big hello. Jake Lewis in the background. See, that's Owensboro, Kentucky. Comes to Birmingham, Alabama down there right now. The Dunlop guys, hey, good job. Oh, look, Hayden's giving a little data. Hayden went back to work real quick. I got a little chatter in the front.
Yeah.
You saw that.
Yeah, I saw it. But, you know, they've really got that bike working well. So he's always thinking about how he can make a thing a little bit better for tomorrow, and that would not be good for the competition. That
would not be good. Of course, this thing got shuffled early on with a couple of get-offs, and there's Gagne, his former teammate at the Red Bull Road Race Factory team. We'll be going down there shortly to get this young man's thoughts here in just a moment. All right, let's go now. Let's go to Christy Lee. She's in the middle of all that excitement down there. Christy?
Here with number 69, Hayden Gillum, obviously excited, and lots of congratulations from many friends and family. Outstanding race this afternoon out there. You took an early lead and you ran with it. Tell us about it.
You know, all year I've been getting really good starts, and, you know, we got another one of those things today. You know, we kind of figured some stuff out in qualifying. We had some time, just never actually got to that pace. But we were running a really good pace today, and, you know, after the first couple laps, I saw the time going up, and I was just thinking, there's no way these guys are right on my butt. But, you know, the last couple laps, tires were starting to go away. Had a little moment in Charlotte's Web behind a lapper. And so after that, I kind of backed it off just a little bit. I knew I had the time, the gap that I could just bring it home. And, you know, I can't thank my TOBC team enough. Bell Helmets, Rick Matheny, my dad, you know, Scott, John, Frank, you know, everybody that's just over there helping us. You know, it's fantastic, 2 in a row. I can't thank everybody enough.
There you have it, today's winner in SuperSport, number 69, Hayden Gillum.
Thanks, Christy. And Hayden's got another shot tomorrow at perhaps repeating. And looking down in that group, that's Hayden's grandfather in the red T-shirt there. That's Marty Hayden, Earl Hayden's brother. That's Jack Rohn behind him back there, his longtime buddy, guys out of Owensboro, Kentucky. That's a cool deal right there. That's a cool deal. So we're going to go right down trackside. It's time to go back and join Christy. She's got Dustin Dominguez, who rode his heart out today.
Number 68, Dustin Dominguez, definitely had to fight to take second place today in SuperSport. It looked like you maybe lost it and got third towards the end of the race there, but you were able to come back and take that second place. Congrats.
Thanks. Yeah, you know, I kind of lost the tire there at the end. I spun it up early on trying to chase Gillum, and I just couldn't catch him. He's riding awesome. I just can't thank the whole Houston Superbikes team enough. I mean, they're bust their butts, give me a bike, do good. They give all the glory to God, and just thanks to all my sponsors. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I really enjoy coming out here racing, and those are the people that make it happen. And thanks to Triumph for putting on this event. We need, you know, people like that to support our sport. It's awesome. And definitely thank my wife.
But of course, our second place finisher today in SuperSport, number 68, Dustin Dominguez.
Oh,
Congrats once again.
Thank you, Christy. Dustin doing a great job here. And we'll maybe perhaps get a word with Caleb DeCarroll, and then we'll be turning it back to Christy, who will be atop that podium getting ready to celebrate with all these top 3 finishers who've earned it here today. And let's do it. Let's go down trackside to Christy. She's caught up with number 51, Caleb DeCarroll from White Bear Lake, Minnesota.
Caleb, our third place finisher in SuperSport today, definitely put up a great fight throughout the entire race. It looks like you almost had Dustin Dominguez towards the end of the race there. Back and forth. Tell us about that.
Yeah, me and Dustin had a really good battle out there. We were both passing pretty close and having some good fun. It was good, clean racing, and he kind of got me on the last lap going into one of the corners in the back section, and I was going to try and make a move on him before the finish, but I kind of screwed up the last 2 corners and didn't get the drive to the line. So it didn't really go as planned, but, you know, there's always tomorrow, and we're looking forward to another good day. So
This is your first push at a full AMA Pro Road Racing season, and you've got to feel good about coming off a 5th and 4th place finish at Road America and now 3rd on the podium.
Yeah, you know, I just turned 17, and I've been doing a little bit more smarter riding and just trying to be a lot more consistent with my riding, and it's been working out. And, you know, just riding with all these talented riders in the AMA field, it's you know, it makes you start riding fast quick. So, you know, it's a really good group of people to ride with, and it was just a really good race. So
Our third place finisher in SuperSport, number 51, Caleb DeCarroll. Barry, that's what this class is all about, more young and up and coming riders in the series.